Well, it starts happy. He told me that he was somebody who wanted everything that his parents had. He wanted to have and provide a fantastic house for his wife, and he wanted to create a good lifestyle for her. And when they came together, when they met and dated and married and all that, he was working at the mines as a mechanic. And he was earning somewhere around $150,000 a year. Good income, right?
Good money, yeah.
Nice money. He's earning really good money. She was also working, and she was earning something like $70,000 or $80,000. Two really good incomes. What happened was, they, on those incomes, decided they could afford a really nice big house. They paid over $600,000 and got a magical home. They got 2 cars, they got all the latest phones and equipment, they got everything, and their life was going along magically, wonderfully. Everything was great. Then, she fell pregnant. And so after a while, she had to leave her job. She could no longer work with what she was doing. She had to have the baby. And this was back in the days where the government didn't help too much, and there was nothing there. And so at that time, there was a drop in income of $70,000 or $80,000, whatever she was earning. Now suddenly they just had his income, but that was okay. It was still a nice big income. He could manage, just. Anyway, as time went on, she became very sick during the pregnancy. And she needed extra support. She needed him around. So he ended up quitting his job. And he thought, I'll find one closer to home, so that I don't have to be away. He had to travel to the mines and come back. And
stay up there for a week.
So stay up there. So anyway, he found a job closer to home. Now the trouble was that this job was much less paying.
Of course.
In the mines, he got a lot more money, especially back then. There was no carbon tax. This was before then.
Yeah.
So no carbon tax, there's a lot more money to splash around. So his income dropped from 150 down to 80. Now then, he found himself in a hole. He had to pay his mortgage, had to pay for 2 cars, had to pay for all their lifestyle, and suddenly he found himself drowning. What did he do? He started borrowing money off his parents. He said, can you just help me with this payment? I'll get the money back to you. He started looking for a second job, but the pregnancy was such, it was difficult, the baby came along. She had to look at the mother, looked after the baby, needed to be there for the baby for the first little bit of time. Wanted to be there for the baby. He wanted his wife and baby to have that good connection. He allowed that to happen. He kept working, but the stress, if you can imagine, the stress that was building up was incredible, because he knew that he couldn't support that lifestyle. But he wanted to. He needed to. And so he kept working. He borrowed money from wherever he could, burnt some bridges. Nobody else wanted to borrow money, so guess what he did? He went out and he stole something from someone's house one night. This started to become a pattern. This started to become a habit. He started going into theft, into crime, into stealing things each week just to pay his mortgage, to keep going with his lifestyle. Now I know it's a sad story, but that's a true story, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that somebody could. I was thinking, why didn't you just sell the house, get a little one? Get a smaller house. But
It's not that easy to do.
That was his choice.
That's pride. Yeah.
So anyway, that was the story I wanted to share, just to tell you how easily and how quickly someone can go from, riches to rags. We talk about rags to riches. The same thing happens in reverse and can happen. Okay, and he made some bad choices along the way, ended up in jail. Ended up doing a couple of years actual time in jail for all the things that he'd done.